Hello there guys, so today I have another video for you and it's going to be on the best parts in the game. Now a lot of things have changed, so we need to update the list. This is my list down here, which I'll just show you all in a second. But yeah, it's a bit complicated. The hover meta and the car meta in terms of like how to rejig your builds has changed, as you'll see with my sort of destroyer build that I've just done. I think I just did a video on this with these parts as well. And this is still 3.4k, so it's almost as it was before, as the punny car was before. So even my so this is 2.7, right, post patch, yeah. Whereas my other punny car is 3k. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into the video. Hi guys, welcome back to another sort of not a build video, but more of like a discussion, right? So the recent patch has nerfed a lot of the parts in the game that I said were the best parts, so I thought I'd do an updated list. So for me, whenever I make a build, I basically have this in my garage, right, and I just copy and paste a build and I see how many of this I can get on. So post patch, there's also the naughty corner, which is these over here. So these parts are the ones sort of most affected by the nerfs and changes, and these are parts that I'm basically bar the Saya for, like, purely like just sometimes because it's just useful to have a shoot through somewhere and it has really good mounting points. Bar this, the rest I have never used since. I've taken it off all my builds, these parts. They are of no value. Yeah, because their ratios now suck, right? So ignoring the actual Dura that it says it is, right? So if you say, oh, it says 147, right? 147, no. Yeah, so that's great. That's fine. What it doesn't do is no longer increase your cabin HP, which in a meta where they've just nerfed these parts, which means that everybody's Dura has gone down, rebalancing that is tough, right? So basically what I'm trying to say is these parts lose the value they had before. Saying that, you used to be able to get like 4k Dura hovers, right, and cars. So you still can get high Dura cars. I just did show a video, it was about 3.5k. It's not using any of these parts bar the sale. Yeah. So what they did is they nerfed the actual cabin Dura of the parts. So this is 60 Dura, say, alright, but it only gives 30 to the cab. When you're using those parts, why wouldn't you just use this? You know, so this part is for light hovers anyways, way less mass for a lot of the same mounting points. Yes, it has decreased Dura on the cab, right? But it's still, like, for the part and the mass size, you use a lot of these with the same 50% shoot through sort of feature, right? So these are okay. They're not great, but they're okay. Whereas these, if that's 30 to 10, this is almost the same ratio, and it's for worse mounting points, and it's a bit more, like, yeah, awkward to use. So the bonnets, no longer using. These are still okay, but unless you're on a light hover, I don't see the use of them, really. They haven't really got as much value as they used to have, but again, like the Saya, like, in the right situation, you can use them, but only if you haven't got the right mass left, you know, but I wouldn't use them generally. I tend not to on everything but a hover, pretty much. Same with the Battle Walkers, so they used to be, yeah, 147 for 202, that's now been completely halved, so if you compare it to other parts, right, 200 mass for 100 for 75, right? So if you have 200 mass, you get 112 from this, right? If you have 200 mass, you get 109 from this, you know, from less. Same with all these parts, yeah. All these parts are like the same sort of thing, right? The value for the money is just better. Yeah. So Battle Walkers are no longer being used. The observation compartment, same thing, right? For 270, you're now getting 91 vehicle Dura. You see on that top right? So for 270, right, I can get 300. I can get 119. Everything is better than this now. Everything is better. And sure, it has the shoot through feature, but that wasn't, you know, like it's fine. But yeah, the fact is I had a lot of Dura, right? So this has lost its value. But now I'll show the new parts. So the bulbs, obviously for heavy builds and the crane size too. Horror as well. These parts are excellent, and they have the fire resistance as well. So if you're fighting a lot of firebugs or a lot of heat, like Massive, these are great parts to use. And then we move on to these. So at 50-50, as I said in the previous video, I won't be like too long into these, but 50-50s, almost 50-50s, better than 50-50 ratios. They're just below, but close enough. 50-50 ratio better than 50-50. New parts, so we have the sports car hullback, 70 for 120, again better than 50-50. New parts they're releasing in the battle pass as well. The back walls, again same thing. They're like a rear door in size, like they're like these. But yeah, great ratio again. And then all the other parts I think are basically in the previous video. You know, the sort of the electric car, minivans, the battle walker, little cover plates, armor slabs, all that. This has all been in the previous video. The mounting brackets are not so bad. So they're 90 to 38 now. So they're like, it's not as bad as the others. They're a bit below 50-50 ratio, but they have great mounting points. So I would still use these, to be honest. I think these hold value, whereas a lot of the others don't. But even these are not amazing, but I put them here because I will still be using them because of the mounting points and because the ratio isn't as bad. For the mass as well, like for a light sort of thing, that's 30 over here. For, you know, 84 is for 30. This is 100 for 38. So it's like, at least this has good mounting points still, so you can use it for structure on builds and stuff. So I still like these, but yeah, I wouldn't. The other ones with bad mounting points are just, yeah, anyway. But the rest is as follows: airplane interiors, power slides, all this sort of stuff. Yeah, so these are the parts for your builds from now on. All the other parts, like a lot of these, except for maybe the Sayer and the helicopter wing for hovers, maybe I just wouldn't bother. Yeah, here's your parts, here's your new sort of rundown of what you should be using on, and if you need any help with like why or like any explanations and stuff, just check the increased vehicle durability in the top right hand corner and just do the math, like just work out the ratio. You know, if it's 82 to 82, brilliant. If it's 93 to 180, it's 50-50 ratio, right? So there you go. Anyway, God, I can't fucking speak. Anyway, so have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow for another video. So, see ya!